This video is a film study look at Mike Green, the Ravens' rookie outside linebacker who just finished his second NFL game. In this case, the Ravens' defense absolutely dominant down in Texas in defeating the Dallas Cowboys. Green only had 2 tackles, but he was a complete disruptive force on 2 of the plays that I'm going to show you. I've got 9 plays queued up here. I believe Green initially billed as a pass rush guy, and I think we're going to get that. I'm not concerned at all that he doesn't have 2 sacks through 2 preseason games where he's rotating, splitting time with multiple guys. This is an extremely talented player who I think can have an impact immediately for the Ravens. We'll get the film started here. Green will generally be spot shadowed in yellow. I'll use multiple colors and annotations for various reasons, but trying to illustrate a little bit more on the screen and edit things to possibly ward off as much of the NFL content ID stuff as possible. First possession, 1st and 10. And it's 11 personnel. They're trying to basically insert this slot receiver from the other side back against the flow of the motion and wind the running back into this gap here. But look at what Green does to the tight end. This is borderline unfair, if you ask me, that you can go 11 personnel, and Green is really good, if you ask me, at being either in a 6 technique or a tight 9. You'll get the end zone angle of this one so you can see what I'm talking about. But he's just basically compressing that gap, driving the tight ends back into the running back, trying to wind it back. I would say that conceptually this play is very Rams-esque in that they're using a wide receiver to try to wind or lead the way for the running back who winds it back. And as an aside, having Urban play against this team seemed borderline unfair, especially when you package him next to Green. This is the same play, like I said, 1st and 10 on the first possession, leading up to the safety, sacked by Martin. Here's the scheme. The jet motion, going across right to left for us, right to left for the Cowboys. Basically, this tight end trying to dig out, gut block, if you will. Green, who's in a tight 9. Borderline 6, which is head up, but he's kind of canted a little bit, and you can see his inside foot's kind of split in the crotch of 86, and then a running back is going to wind this back, or try to wind it back behind number 1, who's leading the way. Look at Green condense this gap. So additional to that, Urban is absolutely winning, but when Green gets his hands on a tight end, he can manipulate that player and move him into the space that he wants because of his power. I think he's got great hips, great lower body strength. Look at the angle that he's playing at versus the angle of this tight end. Complete win here, dominant performance. I don't really pay attention to PFF stuff, but this play for Green, if you do get individual plays for players, if you subscribe to PFF, that better be as highly rated as it can possibly be for an edge defender against the run. Ends up being a 1-yard gain. In my opinion, it's a concept that was pretty well schooled from the standpoint of how the Cowboys are trying to get something accomplished out of 11 personnel. Still on the first possession, it's a 3rd and 14. This is a beautiful blitz by the Ravens. EA, Edgar Allen, and I have really met already to talk about Inside the Coverage Volume 2, where we're looking at Ravens coverages and schemes and patterns. And we just think this is a brilliant play. Look, Malachi Starks is lined up on the line of scrimmage, and he's dropping in the middle of the field free safety. Just batshit crazy, really. Here's how the Ravens are getting Martin free on this nickel blitz. Martin is off screen to our right. You can barely see him lined up over here along with the tight end. Here's how they're getting this accomplished. Peebles, 93, is going to rush into the center and try to go between that gap between the center and the guard, forcing the center to account for him. And if the center does not, then Peebles is going to be one-on-one with the back or have a clear path to the quarterback because the back releases out into the boundary. Buchanan is being sacrificed, in my opinion, really. He's occupying Tyler Booker. Green is on a predetermined rush path. This is not a loss, in my opinion, and this is one of the reasons why I think pass rush win rate can be kind of thrown out the window at times because Green certainly is running a move, don't get me wrong, but he's really running a move that will certainly occupy this right tackle. Why? It clears the path for Martin, absolutely, with Milton looking the other way. He can't get anything accomplished over there, he being Milton, because Starks and Ojabo have dropped out. Incredible design and execution by the Ravens' second stringers, if you will. But I think it's also important to note how Green gets this accomplished. He's unselfish. And then one of the things I have always long believed in is watching people celebrate. not just when you make a play, but when someone else does. I kind of cut this film off a little bit in recording, but Green really is like throwing his fist around, incredibly excited for the safety, which you would make sense. You would think that someone would be. Green to me looks like a guy who's playing above his maturity level for an outside linebacker, and then maybe even above his technical refinement level for a rookie. Pass rush skills, elite athleticism, all was put out there during the pre-draft process. The refinement of his pass rush stuff, the a wider range of moves that he's willing to try and that he can succeed with, maybe wasn't covered as much, and certainly not his coverage ability, which we talked about here on this channel a little bit after the initial Colts game. So moving on here, this is second possession. It's going to be a pass rush for Green against the right tackle. 3rd and 8, and this is not Green's possession. He was not on the field prior to the snap. They've been rotating guys, specifically Isaac, I think, was rotating with Green. Green spot shadowed in yellow. I said this in a video that came out earlier on Monday. This is like easy mode for the Ravens in terms of what they're doing. They're dropping the 2 inside linebackers out on this 3rd and 8, Simpson and Buchanan. Additional dropping out Kane and creating essentially what is, in my opinion, a cover 3. There's the routes by the Cowboys, really trying to split the free safety and give him 2 different verticals to possibly contend with in the form of the tight end. And then I think it's Moreno Cropper that is the intended receiver. Tampa kind of undercuts it, but great angle, great hips by Starks. Additional to this, something to mention, Green is part of the 4-man rush here, illustrated by those yellow arrows. At this point, I guess I need more colors to deal with, but this is really great awareness by Simpson dealing with this tight end route. The tight end route is marked in yellow here. Simpson's going to zone drop out and then turn and look for work and run underneath of this tight end's route. It doesn't really impact the play here because he's not targeted, if you will. But look at his head right here. He's looking for work away from there. I'm not sure we get this from Simpson in the last couple of years. He actually turned the other way. Baseball turned it, ran underneath the tight end, which kind of allowed Starks and maybe even moved Milton off of that read, allowed Starks to move a little bit flatter, a little bit quicker maybe. Get over here. Yeah, the receiver could possibly catch it. The thing I like about Starks right now is he does everything well. In this case, I think he knew that he was late in arriving to that throw. And so his hit is low. His hit is to dislodge. His hit is not to decapitate and not to try to make a play on the ball. His hit was to dislodge the football, and in that case, it worked out perfectly. 3rd possession now moving forward. We're into the 2nd quarter. Ravens are up 12-7. A couple of things to mention. Ojabo over here on the left side is in the 6 technique, head up on the tight end. You really can't see the tight end's body. He's behind Ojabo from our perspective. Green is over here to the right-hand side. It's Trey Wright under center, so tight end and 2 receivers off screen to our left. The offensive line is going to work out to our left, their right. Quarterback reverse pivots. Running back goes away from Green. I like how flat he is here. Flat Green is working. Feet aren't crossing over until he decides to go right now. He's pretty much decided to go, and that's why his feet are crossing over. He does hesitate a little bit right there, but the initial 1, 2 is kind of flat as you can make it sometimes. And then he folds underneath. As well as that, you've got another win by Ravenel, who I think is a pretty damn good football player. I do have some concerns, to be honest with you, about Buchanan, inside linebacker against the run. I think he's extremely inconsistent. Let's talk about Ravenel. He's getting doubled, comboed here. And just like the way you should, and one of the things Matabike is really good at, is as soon as one of the offensive linemen combos off, you win, and oftentimes you win to that side. He's kind of playing backdoor technique, meaning he's not trying to get to the front side of this offensive lineman, playing behind him, heels off, makes first contact. Green does get there as well, closing down on the backside. 3-yard gain. Dallas really got nothing accomplished in the run game, right? 51 yards overall on 20 total carries. They actually did pick up a first down on this possession, however, in the run game. This is after said first down on the ground. It's a 1st and 10, and we're in our base 3-4. Ojabo down here, Green up to the top, 2 inside linebackers, 2 safeties, and of course 2 corners, and 3 interior defensive linemen. This is base 3-4 for us, responding to 21 personnel. And I've never seen this before. This is incredibly high level burst for Green up at the top. It's pin pull toss. So you got the running back going out to the boundary. In this case, we do have, I think, another poor effort by Buchanan. I'm not really sold on him being able to contribute to this team right now, but this is kind of like if you've ever seen the original John Wick movie, and the mob boss that he used to work for says that he killed him with an effing pencil. This is what this reminded me of. The first thought that came into my mind. I've never seen this type of disruption on this scheme. So the receiver is supposed to pin down on the outside linebacker, tackle, pull, and lead out for the running back, who again is going to the boundary. I think it's Miles Sanders. Tight end is also inside releasing to go up, get up to Buchanan. I've never seen someone disrupt the pin down and the pulling tackle. Maybe 75 is getting out of there slow. Maybe the receiver isn't very good in his steps here, but I think a lot of it has to do with Green's get off and his burst ability to get upfield and disrupt the flow. Yeah, it does end up being a successful play, so maybe you think I'm making a bigger deal of it than should be made because Green missed a tackle, I guess. He got stiff-armed a little bit. But to me, the disruption ability is there for Mike Green, regardless of whether a missed tackle is applied or not. Again, it reminds me of someone who can just do something that's so outlandish that that you kind of have to use the F word to describe it. He's getting upfield here, disrupting the tackle, making contact with him, and the pin down block. Unfortunately for us, it does end up being a successful play. Not a huge fan of the way Buchanan does this. He's not the force player. He kind of soft plays this in terms of his approach here, settles his feet. I'd like to see him attack on the inside shoulder of that blocker, force the running back to go outside to Martin, where theoretically he could get involved in a tackle with an outside in. For Green, and for me to say that I've never seen that before, let me expand on that a little bit. The pin pull toss or pin pull pitch, we run it, right? We've ran it under Todd Monken as soon as he came here in 2023. It's a concept that is pretty much shown in every NFL game that you see now, whether it's preseason, regular season, or the playoffs. There's some variation of it, either the pitch where the quarterback opens to it, or the toss where he opens away. I have maybe seen that type of disruption twice, but not someone who collides with the pin down block and the pulling tackle at the same time. Maybe it was his width, receiver and or tackle being slow or ineffective with the technique they were trying to get to accomplish, but I think Green had a lot to do with it. Moving forward here, we've created a light 3-4 is what I would call it. Green is spot shadowed here. He's the 3 technique. I don't think that this is, really where we're going to see him very often. When I say light 3-4, Simpson, one of the inside linebackers, has walked up as the edge defender, with Ojabo being the other edge defender, and Green walking down to be that 3 technique. In additional to that, we've got Lowry walked up as the other inside linebacker. When I say light 3-4, because you've only got one inside linebacker there, and in this case, one safety or one nickel defender. It's a 3rd and 1, and the Cowboys are going up top on the 3rd possession of 11 personnel. Quarterback's under center, little play fake, and this is where he's going here with Milton, looking a little bit off screen to our left. I think he's looking here possibly earlier, comes back to, I think it's Moreno Cropper. Like I said, Green doesn't really get anything done here. Ojabo's rush is a little slow, if you ask me, so he's not able to impact things. It really creates a 4th and 1. I'm not sure that I really want to see Green in that role again, if you ask me. This is the highlight of the game from a Mike Green standpoint and really a Ravens defense standpoint. 4th and 1. I'm not sure who this poor soul is here at tight end that's got to deal with him. Gets absolutely destroyed. Reverse pivot by the quarterback again, Milton. And then the running back is flowing pretty much directly at Green. Green is in the path. He's a wall that's in the way. And his takeoff, driving and setting the tight end back, is just fantastic. Whether it's a 6 technique, head up, whether he's inside shade, he certainly ends up on the inside. Full extension, just doesn't look very physical to me for the Cowboys at all, but particularly this tight end. Somehow Ojabo is left unblocked on the backside. No idea how that occurs on a 4th and 1. Green, Kane, Buchanan. Nice job by Buchanan, by the way. Ojabo, and then Ravenel is fighting like crazy to get involved as well. Disruptive, absolutely chaotic scene on that 4th and 1. Green looks like to me a guy that'll show up in these moments. He'll have a lot of these moments, opportunities, excuse me, throughout his career. A lot of things going on here, end zone angle. Ojabo free rusher, because this offensive tackle works to 97. Green totally wins. Kane and Buchanan show up. Ravenel kind of goes under against the tackle. And you can see the gap that's opening up, the gap that's forming between Ravenel, who's underneath of this tackle, and Green, who's underneath of this tight end. Buchanan folds over the top, scrapes. Kane underneath. 4 guys there, really a 5th if you want to count Ravenel. It's really indicative of what this defense has been doing, regardless of where they are on the depth chart. 2nd string, 3rd string, maybe even lower as UDFA guys. This is incredible work, in my opinion. This defense, Zach Orr, everybody associated with it deserves a ton of credit for having them prepared for pretty much every situation in so many different coverage varieties. We teach, I call it simplicity within chaos, and you'll get an example of it here in a moment. The Ravens are specializing, showing one look and doing something totally different. And right now, these teams in the preseason are not able to handle it. Mike Green is a huge part, if you ask me. 4th possession here. He actually played a lot longer. I'm only going to cover 2 more plays here. 15-7 lead for the Ravens at this point in the 2nd quarter. Green is going to, he's lined up inside shade of the tight end. He's going to step inside and then go outside of the left tackle and kind of, I think, get some pressure. I would say it's 3 match for the Ravens from a coverage standpoint. So outside corner and outside corner, as well as the overhangs. Whatever they're reading, they're responding to it, and it ends up pretty much looking like man. You get a little bit of a trail here, a later trail. Part of that is who he's dealing with from a receiver standpoint. And his alignment was a little bit close. Milton is looking to the bottom side of the screen, where I have the 2 blue arrows, and Green has worked his way around the left tackle 71. After possibly visually checking on, I should say, the tight end number 49, meaning he's got a visual key on the tight end, possibly a pressure key with the left tackle, works his way around. You can see, gets to the quarterback just after the ball is thrown, ends up being an incomplete pass out there to the left sideline. I think Tampa was the guy who was targeted. 6-eye, 7, whatever you want to call it. He's inside shade of the tight end. Doesn't end up dealing with or touching the tight end. Really kind of skips to the inside, so interesting. And then goes for like a double hand chop, possibly. Doesn't, quote, work initially, but he's able to bend a little bit, get low. And I think you're going to see this a lot this season in 2025. Mike Green finding a path to the quarterback and an offensive lineman, usually a tackle, maybe a tight end, reaching out to grab him. Whether there's holding there or not really doesn't matter to me. What matters is that Green is showing us where he's going to arrive. He's going to get at the quarterback. Really cool coverage that the Ravens are running that takes quick recognition to play a 3 match, in my opinion. He's not really a part of the pressure here at all. It's the very next play, or 2 plays later, maybe, excuse me. It's a 3rd and 4 on that same fourth possession. Simplicity here made to look complex. So Ravenel uses a really cool spin move here that I want to highlight first. Right about here. Spins underneath, gets a path to Milton, who recognizes it and gets flushed out of there. Buchanan and Hummel are exchanging responsibilities. So with Peebles working this way, Buchanan is going to blitz and basically get to the guard, while Green tries to get to the outside. Additional to that, Hummel is dropping and essentially replacing Buchanan. So these guys are extremely well coordinated. I think that we're really getting to a cover 3 here, but this line doesn't really do it justice for a couple of reasons. Number one, Ojabo and I think Lowry are like tucked next to each other. They're almost layered in the same coverage area. Hummel is hook to curl. You have another safety here, curl to flat. So between these 2 guys, I think, if they were perfectly playing it in the position they should be in, then it would look like a nice, neat cover 3 with the 3 corners here, or the 2 corners, excuse me, and the free safety cutting the middle of cutting the deep portion of the field into thirds. Green doesn't win, but Peebles creates pressure. Ravenel dives at him. And then I think it's Buchanan with a really cool dive here to hit the quarterback. I think this is going to be rare, what you see now, which is three guys at the quarterback and Green being the solo who's not. I think generally it's going to be the other way around. Green will be at the quarterback with one or two other guys, and a couple of other players will not be present in that situation. They won't be part of the pressure or the quarterback hit. This is a unique talent for the Ravens to have got him in the second round. We couldn't have been blessed anymore, for real. Stark's very versatile, good at pretty much everything he does. Athletic, very athletic, and quick and smart. Probably going to get some interceptions this year, if you ask me. Green, how many sacks is he going to get? I don't know, man. I can't project that. I just know that he's got a plethora of pass rush moves. He's willing to use them. He's smart about the utilization of them, and he plays in an unselfish manner. I see markers of a guy who plays unselfish beyond his years. Maybe it's the outside linebacker group he's with every day. Maybe it's the coaching he's getting from Zach Orr and everyone else. Or maybe Mike Green is just a baller, a football player who's all about winning and recognizes the situation, the dynamic he's in, that he's in Baltimore, a place that can win and win now and win in the future. We're very fortunate to get him. I also wonder if Mike Green is similarly fortunate to have arrived in Baltimore. And here's what I mean. Final point. He is inside of a position group, outside linebacker, that's got a ton of talent. Even with Isaac going down, which is unfortunate for him, thought he'd been playing well. Green is going to be forced to do things right way, do things consistently, meaning on a daily basis, and execute a multitude of techniques, pass coverage, stopping the run clearly, getting to the quarterback, being part of a rush paradigm that is sometimes forcing him or asking him to be unselfish and not, quote, win. But the defense can win by Green occupying a particular pass rusher. He might be fortunate to be in that situation. Why? Because he's got to show up to work every day and be the best version of Mike Green that he can possibly be just to get on the field for 30 or 32 snaps a game. I'm not sure what a snap count will look like. I'm not projecting it to only be 30 or 32 snaps, but there is significant and very real competition there for every guy at that edge defender / outside linebacker group. And I'm happy that we got him, and I'm happy that he's in that situation because I think we're going to get the best version of him for right now and for the future. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Only picked 9 plays, and it lasted over 20 minutes, so my ratio has got to get cut down. Video's got to get shorter, basically. If you enjoyed it, though, please let me know in the comments section, number 1. Number 2, another way you can help this video and help me, if you wish, is to grab a link to this content, share it out on social media to help this video get more reach. Finally, if you're not aware, I do run a Ravens Discord. It's a private, secure community where Ravens fans can discuss the game, the players, the coaches, and the whole season in general in a private community. It's now 84 people, so I should use the word private in air quotes. But basically, there's no trolls, no anti-Ravens, no anti-Ravens team people in there, members of other fan bases who just want to disrupt and basically be jerks. That doesn't happen in our Discord at all. It's a peaceful community where people can discuss their thoughts in a safe way. And I'm very fortunate that I created it, but it's taken on a life of its own, and it's mostly due to the maturity level and the focus of the people that are in there. So if you'd like to do that, join in on it. It's $5 a month. It's part of my Patreon. It's just a way to support me, help me create more content, and justify all the time that I spend creating content for you guys on YouTube and on my page. Appreciate you guys' time.